Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to part 2 of the mall that we are making, and this is definitely probably I think the first time I've ever made a mall before, so please just go easy on your girl because I am not that great at building indoor stuff. I'm very good at doing outdoor things exterior wise and plants and all that fun jazz, but I definitely have a struggle a lot trying to do things indoors. And girl, if you're seeing this on the first floor and you're like, oh my god, it's great, the more floors you go up, the less fancy it gets. I at the very end I had no idea what to do. And as soon as I got to the third floor, I think it's some weird IKEA. So, I mean, if you're into that, then cool. But if you're not, then you're like, why? And I don't know, but I have it up on the gallery now. So if you guys do want to go check it out, it will be in my gallery. My name and everything like that will be linked in the description down below. But enough with the talking, with the rambling, with the words and all that stuff about the flooring and the decorating and all that stuff. You guys know it's not me. I just can't talk about the build because it'd be like, look, there's a sign, and there's a palm tree, and that's it. That's as good as it's gonna get. But today, you guys, oh my god, I don't know what has been going on the past couple days, but I have been manifesting things, and it's so weird. The other day, right, I was in my car and I was like, man, I really want to dye my hair because it has just been a whole roller coaster. My hair is brown, okay, but the last time I got my hair dyed, it was really, really bad. I was in there for 8 hours, and when the girl was probably 4 hours in, she told me she had no idea what she was doing with my hair. I know, what? Totally put me off hairstyling for a really long time. And to keep in mind, that was the first time I ever dyed my hair. So I was kind of put off from it. I was oh, I look like Malibu Barbie. I wanted ombre at the time, and she didn't know what she was doing. But now I want balayage. So now I'm trying to make sure I know who I'm going to before I do anything. But it's almost $300. I'm girl, I don't have the money for that right now. I don't got the coin for that. So I guess I'll wait. But I think 2 days ago, I was in my car and I'm okay, I really want to dye my hair. I'm just really scared to know where I'm going, where I'm gonna go to for it, and make sure that they don't mess up my hair. And while I was at work, there was a lady that came in and she told me that she was a hairdresser, and the girl that she works with just got an award for color matching and all that stuff, so she's really good. And I was dang, I'm okay, thanks. So she gave me her card and it was all fine, and I'm wow, okay, cool. And then probably about I'd say 20 minutes later, I started thinking about my old coworker, and she hasn't been in forever. I haven't seen her at my other job because I work 2 jobs right now, and I hadn't seen her at my other job for a bit, and I was oh, I wonder how she's doing. I not lied to you that literally probably 10 minutes later, she walked in, she gave me a hug, and she was oh my god, hey, how's it going? And I was huh? I haven't seen her in forever. Fast forward an hour. There was a guy who was a scammer, and I'll probably tell you about it after if I have time. But he was trying to pull something sneaky and it wasn't working. But I thought about my other old coworker at the place that I was working at that time, and I was man, I haven't seen them in a bit. I wonder how they're doing. And no word of a lie, they walk in and say, hey, how's it going? I'm oh my god, I was literally just thinking of you. How are you? How are you doing? And oh my god, so super weird manifesting. Man, it'd be real shame if I could just get $1 million fall from the sky, and or someone walk into the store and be here, this is for you. And I'm oh wow, thanks. I should have bought a lottery ticket that day. That was a missed opportunity, wasn't it? Dang. Gotta get him next time. But guys, it was so weird. I'm like, I wish I could manifest like all that stuff. But that day it was also strange because a man came into the store and he goes, he starts asking about like our products, and I'm like, yeah, no, it's all cruelty free. It's really nice. It's vegan, yada, yada, yada. And then he starts going and he points at my mask, and he goes, you know that? And he points at it, and I go, and he goes, we call that a muzzle. And I'm like, boy, I literally just woke up like an hour ago. I do not have time for this. And he was like, yeah, when we were in the rallies, we were all holding hands about COVID, and I never got sick. And how many like vaccines have you taken? And I was like, well, I had to take 2 because it was mandatory for my work, and I didn't want to get fired. So the second time that I got it, I had to go to the hospital, but I was fine. And he goes, oh, wow, so that's like, you must be really strong then to put all that poison in your body. And I'm like, sir, I just woke up an hour ago. Please, if you're not going to buy shampoo, please just leave the store. I do not have time for this. And he was nice and all, but like, my gosh, you guys, I just don't have time for it. There's so many opinions on it, and I just had to get my mandatory things, and that was it. I keep a mask on because 1, it was mandatory in our store, and 2, I have family members who are very susceptible. So I don't want to take that chance. So may what it bill, what it be, what it do, girl, it happened at work, and I was just not feeling it. I was like, guy, I don't have time for this. It's fine. Go on your day. Just buy what you gotta go and get out. Get out, please. Okay, I don't have time for this. But yeah, so that happened at work, and I guess I can. We do have time. I can talk about the scammer situation at our store. Now, already like an issue is some places that we work with don't have no receipt return policies. So you can literally come in, bring your stuff to the store, return it with no receipt, and then we can give you back the money and put it on your card. Whether or not, so we really should just give you like store credit, but sometimes I've seen that they literally just put the money back on your card. And a lot of people who heard about that were taking advantage of the store and being like, oh, I'm gonna go buy $90 worth of this stuff, and then I'm gonna return it, and then the money's gonna come back on my on my card. So say just for a second they didn't buy it. Say they stole it, which a lot of people did. I caught 2 boys yesterday stealing some like quartz from our store, and I just saw it and I was like, really? Like, and I couldn't run after them, and they were young, but my boss was like, whatever, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay. But so this man stole $90 worth of things, tried to return it, and to make an excuse like, oh, it's for my grandmother, da 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 da. And so eventually we just gave him store credit, but we knew who he was because we had a picture of him trying to do the exact same thing he tried to do like before Christmas. So we just gave him store credit, but that's $90 to store credit, which is really dumb. And honestly, we should really not do no receipt returns because a lot of people can steal things. We don't even have like beepers or whatever like that, so you could take whatever. And it just doesn't, like, I feel like we need to put way more security in our store, which I think is absolutely silly that we don't. But yeah, and one other scammer that came to the store, I think the other day, she is known to just like go all over the place, you guys. Like, she'll take some things, go to a store, get her money on her card of things she quote unquote bought, and then she'll just like keep the profits. And so she came into our store the other day, and I've already dealt with this girl, and so had my manager. So she comes into the store and I look at her, and I'm very good with faces, okay? So if I haven't seen you in like a hot minute, I'm always like, no, I know exactly who you are. And this lady walks in, and I look at her and I'm like, I think I know you. Are you? In my head, obviously, I was like, this is the scammer. Like, this is the girl who tried to do these things before, and she's trying to do it again. So she comes in and she has like a very expensive item. She pops it up on the counter and she goes, yeah, hi, I'd like to return this, but I don't have the receipt. And I look at her, and then my manager walks out, and I look at him. Now, my manager also has a pretty good idea of who this woman is, and she takes one look at my manager, and then she takes a look at me, and then I think she realized that we recognized who she was, and she goes, oh, I think I do have my receipt. I think it's back in my car. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. And then my manager was like, oh, okay. Even though he was going to be like, oh, wait, no, we can do like no receipt returns. But the reason that she went away is because I think she realized that we knew who she was. And that day she never came back. So I think she's running out of options because she came back to a spot that we already know who she was. And apparently she hasn't been going to a lot of the other ones because they have her picture. And so do we. And the new guy that came in recently to try the whole scam thing, I took a picture of him while he was walking away. So I have a picture of him, and we know who he is. So I hope he doesn't try anything. The only thing that we really have to worry about is kids. And it's funny because they think that like we don't know, and a lot of the times we do, and it's really funny to watch them. But also, like I said, I did see two boys walk in, grab some quartz, and then walk out. And the only reason why I didn't go after them is because, one, we're not supposed to unless it's like really expensive, but two, because it's a quartz, it's like $16, and I wasn't 100% sure if they took it or not, but I knew before they walked in it was there. And I go to the table and I page my manager and I'm like, hey, is this where's the quartz? And he goes, no, it should be on the table. I'm like, it's not on the table. And he goes, seriously? And I go, yep. And I was like, I'm pretty sure those two young boys just went and stole it. And he goes, are you serious? And I'm like, yep. So it's fun when it happens, when people try and scam, because you can kind of like see right through them. But also having children try and steal things in your store is also interesting to see, because they're so young and you're like wondering like, why are you stealing things? Like what and a quartz, for all that I matter. Like, why? Because you're like, you look like you were 10. Like, why on earth would you want to steal a quartz? I don't get it. It's fine. It's whatever. But like, seriously, like the only thing I think that I ever did as a kid is like, I used to like take my friends' Pokemon cards, and that was it. And everyone was always missing a Pokemon card because I just took them, and it was so bad. And I feel awful. There was one day that I took it and my friend was really upset because she was like, where's my card? And this is when I was like in 4th grade. I was a criminal at 4th grade. I know, crazy, but like I saw it. And my friend was so upset. She just didn't know where her card went. And I felt really bad. So the next day I put it back in her in her desk. But to this day, I have cards from people that I used to take in elementary school. And I thought it was slick, and I got away with it, and nobody knew it was me to this day. But if someone is watching this and they were in school with me, they'd be like, that was you. And it was me. I'm sorry I took your card. I didn't mean it. I was a runaway criminal. I don't know. I was such a bad kid. No, I was a good kid. Okay, and I'm gonna continue to be a good noodle. I'm a good noodle. I didn't do it anymore. don't steal. It's very bad, and it's very, very bad. People will be very upset, so don't ever do it, okay? The whole moral of this video is don't steal. And enjoy my mall. Please. Please do. And please don't make fun of the top floor. I get it. It's not that great, okay? But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe please consider like, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys.